Baltimore Orioles.
And there's the big swing.
On Messi.
He got every stitch of that one.
And streaming live on the Messi app.
The birds are flying high.
It all starts right now.
After an off day, we wish you a pleasant good evening from the nation's capital, just down the road in Washington, D.C., where the Orioles and the Nats kick off MLB's rivalry weekend on a Friday night. A packed house expected for Game 1 of 3, with the hot dogs meeting the racing presidents. The Bird and Screech are in town, the O's and the Nats, and we're great to be with you, Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald. Thanks for part of your Friday night with us. Orioles sending Shane Boss to the mound. The Nats, Zach Littell, after a series win for the O's against the Yankees, led by Adley Rutschman with a home run in the Orioles' last game 2 days ago. One of the stars of the season, one of the great stories of the season for the Orioles, Ben, the bounce-back year for their former #1 overall pick.
Yeah, look, he's been outstanding, and he's been outstanding for me on both sides of the ball. He really has. And, you know, he got off to a similar start last year, but was not able to sustain it because of injuries. And, boy, this year it's been totally different. He has done it on both sides of the ball. He's hitting off-speed pitches. His bat speed seems to be faster. He's covering the fastball in the upper quadrants of the strike zone as well. And so look at the numbers on the year. Already 6 homers on the year, 24 RBIs, and that batting average over 290. What more could you ask for?
That was the home run from Wednesday. You could see Adley dip his head. You didn't think he got it. Of course, he did get it off the glove of Spencer Jones and over the wall. He's now tied for the Orioles lead in RBIs despite a stint on the 10-game IL. So there are some changes this year, some subtle, some a little less subtle, that have gotten Adley Rutschman into more athletic positions at the plate and put him in a better chance to hit.
Yeah, I just find him a lot more, well, a couple of things. He's a lot more balanced at home plate, and he's also attacking pitches over the white part of the plate to it. Let's break it down. 26 on your left, 25 on your right. So watch the swing on your right last year. The toe tap is gone this year, but see how he's out in front on your right there? He's lunging for the ball, and so when he swings at it, if you'll follow it through right there, see how he almost falls down? He's way out of balance. The one on the left was also a changeup. Both those are changes, but he let that ball travel. He let it get deep. So I think he's getting his foot down a little bit earlier, KB, and he's recognizing what pitch it is, and he's able to throw the head at the bat at it. And that's been the big numbers. You look at it from 22 to 25 versus left-handed batters, and then what he's doing in 26. And the bat speed is up. The attack angle is up. It's better as well. And so you look at the slugging, it's all a lot better. But I think, simply put, he's in a better hitting position right now than what he was last year.
And this is, as a left-handed batter against off-speed pitches, change-up splitters. He'll see some splitters from Zach Littell today. The bat speed being up on off-speed pitches, that's particularly notable, the way he's keeping that bat through the zone, as you talked about. The balance has been there offensively. It's also been there defensively. This is the best he's looked in terms of throwing out runners, maybe in his career.
Yeah, he's still on one knee, but he's kind of changed what he did on one knee. He was a left knee guy last year. Now he's down on right knee, if you're watching, but that puts him in a better throw position. See the right knee down right there, and he's able to come up quicker and throw down towards second base. Look what he's done in the year, man. 9 for 27 throwing runners. That's 33%. Big league average right around 20%, but see him down on one knee again on the right knee. Now, I think it's helped with his arm strength, because there was a time last year, the year before last, he would bounce a lot of balls down towards second base. He's getting it there on a line, so he's more balanced as well behind home plate. Boy, outstanding play. All right there on defense as well. And so Adley's throwing the ball well. He's doing it on both sides of the ball. So good to see him, really. And he looks like, to me, he looks like the all-star guy from 2023. That's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, he certainly could be an all-star again, even with a little bit of time missed. Rutschman has caught 9 of 27 opposing base stealers. His caught stealing percentage 19 to 24, all the way up to 33% over the last 3 years, and he will be Shane Boss's battery mate tonight. So the Orioles and the Nats, we have plenty more to come with first pitch right around the bend. The racing presidents are in the house. A lot of fans here for Hot Dog Night. We'll continue to preview this evening's series opener coming up next. Orioles baseball on Masson is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. By Tower Federal Credit Union, your hometown credit union for over 70 years. And by Johns Hopkins Orthopedics. Johns Hopkins Orthopedics, getting you back to the life you love. Starting pitchers for tonight are two pitchers trying to get right. Shane Baz has allowed 5 runs in back-to-back starts for the Orioles, a record of 1-4. Zach Littell, the most home runs allowed in the major leagues, also a record of 1-4. In fact, the Nats have used an opener before Littell a couple of times this year. So Baz had that great home start against Houston. The Orioles hoping he'll get right and have a bounce back today. Littell, meanwhile, has dominated the Orioles in his career, though this season he's been one of the worst pitchers in the majors. And there are some Orioles who have hit him well individually.
Yeah, look, some Orioles have some really good swings against him. You know, Littell's a little bit of a mystery for me. He had a wonderful year last year. 32 starts at 3.81 ERA. That is well above average. This year's not been the same, but both of these pitchers are having similar issues, and that's commanding the strike zone. If you look at the walk numbers are up for both of these pitchers. They're getting behind, and when you get behind at the big league level and you have to pitch, the ball tends to fly out of the ballpark. It has for Littell for sure. For Shane Baz, to me, it's about fastball command. Can he command a fastball? Can he work from ahead and then get to that breaking ball and his off-speed stuff to be able to finish? If he can do that, I think he can really pitch and have a lot of success. But that's kind of been the problem, and something we'll keep an eye on for both these pitchers. Can they command the strike zone tonight?
And again, for the Orioles, they have never scored more than 3 runs against Littell. But there's some players in this lineup with good numbers against him. Colton Cowser, who gets a start today, has tripled, homered twice. Gunnar Henderson, a couple of home runs off Littell as well. And then Taylor Ward, obviously, as an Angel, 4 for 8, 2 home runs against Littell. The O's have not had a great home run hitting month. They're down to tie for 16th in the major leagues in home runs, but this is a Nats pitching staff that ranks 29th of 30 teams with a 5.01 ERA. Could be a real get-right series for an Oriole offense that did put up 7 in the win over the Yankees Wednesday. Well, some news today from Oriole President of Baseball Operations, Mike Elias. We'll hear from him when we return.
600.
Orioles baseball on MASN is brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything, and by Bob Bell Automotive. Bob Bell Automotive, your go-to for cars, service, and more. Come see us or visit bobbell.com. Some news today from Oriole President of Baseball Operations, Mike Elias, speaking about Jordan Westburg and other topics with the media. Let's take a listen.
Westburg had Tommy John surgery. It was Wednesday. I was with Dr. Neil Elatrash in the Los Angeles area. Pretty normal Tommy John surgery. Obviously, this will put him out for the rest of the year. And you know, I think it's too early to put a specific timeline on something like this. But him being back as a full player in the early part of 2027 is very much in play, but we got to just kind of wait and get going on the rehab, and I think it'll be a long time before we have more exact clarity on that plan. But obviously that's a huge blow for the team, and it's an unexpected one. It wasn't something that we were braced for coming into the year. To Jordan's credit, he wanted to try everything he could to come back and help the team this year, and help the team as an infielder, but it just wasn't working out with the conservative route. So we went ahead and got the surgery, and I don't think much, if anything, was lost in terms of his 2027 timeline. So that's kind of why we went with that approach.
It's news that did not come as a surprise. We always figured this was a realistic outcome for Jordan Westburg, but it still stinks to know he won't be suiting up this year.
Yeah, look, when he got shut down for a 3rd time, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, you kind of saw the writing on the wall at that point, because the PRP injection, either it's going to work or it's not going to work. And so, yeah, this is a tough one for the Orioles. I've always felt like Jordan Westburg is the glue that kind of holds this team together in some ways. When he's healthy and on the field, he is certainly a difference maker, plays a premium position and a middle-of-the-back kind of guy, you know. And so I feel for Jordan Westburg, because he was nicked up last year. He's nicked up again this year. Didn't play much last year, won't play at all this year. But the silver lining is this: Jordan Westburg, as hard as a worker as he is and as much as he cares, the care factor is so high. He'll come back next year and he'll be even better than he ever has been before.
Without him, the Orioles will have Kobe Mayo at third base again today, coming off a good series against the Yankees. O's and the Nats on a Friday night. MLB's rivalry weekend kicks off next from the districts.
Motion for life.
Are you ready for the weekend, baby? Come on. Are you ready for the dance floor where we belong? Are you ready for the weekend?
Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. And we are finally ready for some baseball. Under the fireworks, the hometown Nats take the field. With the game separating these two teams, we're separated by less than an hour if the traffic is right, which it infrequently is. The Orioles 20-24, the Nats 21-23. Baltimore, though, 3-1 in its last 4 games to win a .500 homestand. Gunnar Henderson will lead the way for Craig Albertaz's Orioles. Colt Kauser getting back in the starting lineup today, and both Adley Rutschman and Samuel Messiah, the Orioles' 2 catchers, in the game against Zach Littell, making his 6th start of the year.
Zach Littell, 1-4 with an ERA just south of 7. It hadn't been the kind that he had last year. Last year was a wonderful year. Now, home runs have always been an issue for him. He gave up 36 of them last year, 14 of them so far this year to lead Major League Baseball. So that's 50 home runs in the last 2 years. Not a hard thrower. Fastball's going to be in that low 90s range, but he's a guy that can mix it up with the off-speed stuff as well. Of course, he's got that splitter that we talked about and that sweeper. This is StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Slider leads the way right about 28% of the time. Does have a 2-seam and a 4-seam fastball that he'll use combined about 42% of the time. Then the slider and that split finger fastball. Probably the best pitch so far this year, and where he got most of his strikeouts on that split finger fastball. Opponents hit just 205 off the splitter.
And the 2-seam fastballs for Littell have been absolutely blasted this year. 9 home runs against those massive slugging percentage numbers. And our Bet365 odds to watch. Bet365, where winning is everything. The number is 5.5 for the Orioles to hit a +120. Nats 29th in the league, 5.01 ERA. The Orioles come in at 4.4 runs a game, and 14th in baseball in that particular category. So let's get it started with Gunnar Henderson swinging at the first pitch from Zach Littell, and a skyscraping pop-up to Jacob Young will be the game's first out. A 6:47 first pitch here, a couple of minutes after the scheduled game time here in Washington, D.C.
Well, Gunnar was all over that one, wasn't he? Just a shade under it, but he caught it out front.
One away, here is Taylor Ward, who will likely not be putting the first pitch in play. And Ward will take it right down the heart for strike 1. Taylor in the Yankee series was 3 for 10, a double, and 3 walks. Career versus Zach Littell, 4 for 8 at a 2-homer game last April 10th, when Ward was an Angel. Checks the swing here. John Tumpane, the plate umpire, checked with Chris Conroy, the crew chief, down at first. No swing. Henderson, Ward, and Rutschman, the Oriole top 3 today. As Taylor swings it, it's a bouncing ball to C.J. Abrams. And Ward retired on a splitter for out number 2. Just 4 pitches for 2 quick outs for Zach Littell, who has come in after an opener a few times this year. The Nats have tried to limit him at times with his struggles, get somebody else in there from the start, but this is a good opening act for Zach. We typically know as a big strike thrower. The walks are up this year for Littell, and obviously the home runs are the big problem. Adley Rutschman takes one right down the middle. 3 for 3 in first pitch strikes for Littell.
Walks up, and strikeouts are down too. Only 17 strikeouts and 36 1/3 coming in for Littell. There's a splitter. That's kind of what it looks like, and that's why he wants to throw that fastball. You'll see him attack down low, right at the knees, because it sets up the splitter behind it. Now, every now and then he'll elevate the fastball to the upper quadrant, but for the most part, he wants to attack with the fastball at the knees to set up the splitter.
2-1 from Littell to Adley Rutschman. 2 for 11 in the series win over the Yankees. At 3 RBIs on Wednesday, a 2-run homer to sac fly. There's Craig Albertaz on the third base side. Rutschman takes strike 2.
Yeah, runs have been hard to come by for the Orioles as of late. Matter of fact, on that 6-game homestand, the Orioles scored a total of 19 runs. That's 3.2 runs per game. The good news is their pitching staff only allowed 19 runs during that time. So the pitchers kept the Orioles in it. They had a 3-3 homestand.
2-2 splitter out to left center field. A long run for the outstanding Young, and he makes an incredible catch out by the wall. There is no way most center fielders track that down, but the jumps Jacob Young gets are uncommonly great, and he ends a perfect first.
And I tell you, KB, this ball slicing away from him, and yet he easily ran it down.
As big a surprise as any in baseball this year, the Washington Nationals offense, second in the majors at 5.4 runs per game. Not a surprise to see James Wood. The average is low, but the on-base and slugging are elite. C.J. Abrams having a wonderful year, and Dalen Lyle with a breakout season as well. No national older than 28 in the lineup, and most of them are between 22 and 25. That's the lineup that Shane Baz will face.
Very young core the Nationals have. Here is Shane Baz making his 9th start of the season. 44 and a third. He struck out 38. Opponent's batting average 292 off the right-hander, Baz.
Kicking it off with James Wood. A tough task from the start. Wood gets a high fastball, sprays it to deep center field, and Colton Cowser flags it down right in front of the wall.
Well, here's the Oriole defense brought to you by CarShield. Left to right in the outfield. Taylor Ward, you just saw the milkman in center. Tyler O'Neill gets the start in right field. Your double play combination is Henderson and Jeremiah Jackson. Kobe Mayo gets the start at third. The polar bear back over at first, and Adley Rutschman behind home plate for the Orioles.
Always have been better defensively of late. Very poor start to the year, but stronger on the homestand.
It's starting to turn. Defense is starting to turn. Only one error against the Yankees in 3 games.
Luis Garcia Jr., Nationals designated hitter, takes a fastball in tight from Shane Baz, 2-0. What do you want to see for Shane Baz early on in this game?
Strike one. I want to see him challenge the strike zone and try to get ahead of hitters to be able to get to his best pitch. And his best pitch has been that knuckle curve all year long. That's where he racks up a lot of his strikeouts. 17 of his 38 strikeouts have come from that knuckle curve. But it's hard to get to it if you can't work from ahead.
And he's 3-0 on a hard guy to walk. Luis Garcia. Drew French, the pitching coach, looks on. Garcia's walked 6 times in 39 games and 134 plate appearances. Taking all the way, Garcia looks at strike one here. That's our only 12th in average, 13th in on base. They're 5th in slugging. They steal all the bases. They're 4th. They are tied for 2nd in extra base hits. A great blend of power and speed. And Garcia on a 3-1 launches one down the right field line, but foul. A long strike 2 for Luis.
Well, this is StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Talking about Shane Baz's pitch arsenal. 4-seam fastball leads the way. Started throwing a sinker this year. Working the sinkers, about 40% fastballs, and the knuckle curve, cutter, and the changeup as well.
Baz's 3-2 for Garcia is swung on and missed the knuckle curve. Back from 3-0, he picks up his first K.
It's swing and miss when you talk about that knuckle curve, but he's got to get himself in situations where he can use it, because this is a really good offense. You mentioned it. Second best offense in baseball, only behind the Atlanta Braves. The Nationals lead Major League Baseball in doubles. They're top 10 in triples and top 10 in home runs as well.
A pitch that was not even in the same district as the strike zone, and Garcia still went after it. So Baz retires the first 2 Nats in order. And now we'll face first baseman Curtis Mead, having a surprisingly strong start to the year. And Mead takes a called strike around the outside corner. 227 average, but 14 walks to only 17 strikeouts, 4 homers, good slugging in 32 games. And what a surprise these Nats have been offensively. Out of really nowhere. They have an identity under their first-year manager, Blake Butera. Folks around the team have been raving about the lack of communication, of focus, of teaching, of development here. Our old hitting coach, Borchschulte, who's with the Orioles for a couple of years, hitting coach here now. There's a ground ball over the middle, and it sneaks through. A 2-strike base hit for Curtis Mead.
Yeah, there were a lot of expectations for the Nationals last year. They had a very young core. People expected a lot of them, and boy, it didn't go too well for them at all. Dave Martinez was fired before the All-Star break, along with Mike Rizzo, their general manager, both let go before the All-Star break. And then this year, there wasn't a whole lot of expectations, but yet they find themselves in second place, tied for second with the Phillies in the National League East.
C.J. Abrams been a big part of the story this season. Abrams takes a knuckle curve high. He is off to a great start at the plate. He's still struggling defensively with 8 errors, but Abrams leads the team in average on base and slugging. .923 the OPS, 36 RBIs among the league leaders in baseball. Swings through a good cutter there. That's a pitch Shane Baz has not thrown a ton to lefties. Only 7% cutters to lefties. It's his most thrown pitch to righties. There's a 1-1 for Baz. I wonder if maybe a few more cutters will be in the mix to lefties for Shane today. It's a lefty heavy lineup. 6 of the 9, and left-handers have hit Shane Baz very well this year to the tune of .323. On base plus slugging is .900, well above average. And left-handers have hit his fastball and curveball very well. Those are the pitches he throws about 3/4 of the time to lefties. So will it be the changeup a little more? Will it be some cutters maybe in on the hands?
I like cutter in. I think Shane Baz needs to use something to the inside part of the plate against the lefties and the righties a little bit more. If he can get that cutter in there to lefties, he can certainly speed those bats up to be able to get to his breaking ball. The changeup hasn't been great for him, and that's how most right-handed pitchers offset left-handed hitters, is having a pretty good changeup. Shane Baz's changeup has really not been a great pitch for him so far yet this year.
2-2 for the red-hot National shortstop, 25-year-old C.J. Abrams. And Abrams pops the ball up. Another cutter.
Cutter, I think, say right on the inside part.
Well, earmark that sequence. That may be something new from Shane Baz, who throws a scoreless first.
Home Depot.
Our Maryland Lottery Fast Play contestant of the game, Kathy Clark from Frederick, has won $500 for being selected, and will win $500 more for every Orioles home run, $5,000 for each O's grand slam tonight. Learn how to be the Fast Play contestant of the game at mdlottery.com/home run. 0-0 after an inning between the O's and the Nats. Here's Pete Alonso. After a 9-pitch first for Zach Littell, Pete will try to get the Orioles their first base runner. Alonso, Basayo, and O'Neill. And Pete grounds the ball foul off of Pete.
That's kind of how the Yankees attacked Pete Alonso, too. Remember, a lot of two-seam fastballs in. Got plenty of pad on that left foot, but boy, that still hurts. Like he hit right on top of the pad.
He was 3 for 11, 3 strikeouts in a Yankee series. It's snapping 0 for 16 on Tuesday. And 2 for 4 in the O's last game. And Alonso's late on a fastball at 92. Pete, in limited history with Zach Littell, is 0 for 6, and he has struck out twice. And the Orioles have never, ever hit Zach Littell well. And Pete fouls this one away here. 10 appearances against the Orioles, 8 starts. And Littell has never allowed more than 3 runs. For whatever reason, he's always had the Birds' number.
Last 3 starts against the Orioles have all big quality starts, meaning he worked at least 6 innings, gave up 3 runs or fewer in all 3 of them.
There's a breaking ball powered out to right. James Wood mills in front of the warning track, puts away Pete. 3 flyouts out of the first 4 batters for Zach Littell. He's going to get the ball in the air a lot. One of the reasons he's such a big home run allowing pitcher. He just doesn't get many ground balls. He's one of the highest fly ball rates in baseball. Here's Samuel Basallo. He checks his swing on a sweeper and did not offer, according to Ben May. Basallo had a stop-start Yankee series, was scratched from the lineup Monday with a sore left knee, then went 2 for 4 with a double and an RBI single Tuesday. Did not play Wednesday in a game started by Max Fried. Basallo with 277, 817 OPS, and check out the last 16 games, 390, 10 extra base hits.
It all started after the Cleveland series. He was 0 for 10 against the Guardians, and then since then he has been blistering the baseball, has Basallo.
Tuesday was a prime example of what he's done well. He had a 2-strike single up the middle, and he had a double to the opposite field. Swings away on 3-0 here. Powers it out of play. We've seen the pull power and flashes from the moment he came up, but that backside work has been a little bit different this year for Basallo. Takes a strike around the inside edge.
Well, Big Sam's figured out that he can leave the ballpark anywhere, and that's what allows him to let the ball get a little bit deeper, let it recognize it, see what pitch it is, and then throw the bat head at it. He has been so good in these situations, especially with runners on base as well.
3-2. Basallo will take one low. Very good eye on a pitch down and in, and Samuel Basallo is the Orioles' first base runner. Hey, you can stream MASN Plus this year on iOS and Android mobile devices, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. MASN Plus monthly subscriptions are available for only $19.99 a month. Go to MASNsports.com or scan the QR code to get yours today. Tyler O'Neill, the one-out batter, will take a first pitch slider strike. Another start for O'Neill. He's been getting consistent playing time now, 4 consecutive starts.
Only 1 base hit against the Yankees, but got on base a lot by walk. He's seen Littell a lot. 16 career at bats off of Littell. He's 2 for 16.
1 for 8, but the one was an RBI double, and he had 3 walks in that Yankee series. Tyler sends a fly ball here to deep left field. Dalen Lyle is at the wall. Now he comes in and makes the catch. Lyle looked like he was ready to jump at the fence. And I don't know if a gust of wind took it or if Lyle just misjudged it.
I don't even see the wind blowing on the flag
right.
just behind him. But the way he acted, he was getting ready to get up on the wall and try to rob that one and had to redirect. You can see the flags are just laying limp. Watch him. He's going back. He's thinking about going up on the wall and has to redirect it the last second to come in. It did sound good coming off the bat. Now we're way up high here at this ballpark.
Ball 1 to Colton Cowser. So a couple of warning track flyouts for the Orioles. They've sent some shots across the bow here against Littell. Cowser's taken him deep twice. Ball 2 to Colton, a breaking ball, no swing. Greg Albert has said you can expect Colton Cowser to play a lot more with Dylan Beavers on the IL. The Orioles are hopeful it's going to be a short IL stint for Beavers with his oblique strain. Cowser gets the center field start today with Leody Taveras coming off the bench. Colton is in a 3-0 count. Here are the most career plate appearances against Zach Littell. We'll give you the top 14. 4 of the 14 are in the lineup, and then O'Hearn, Laureano, Santander, Urias, Mullins, all former Orioles. So 9 of the top 14 most career plate appearances against Zach Littell are either Orioles this year or have been at some point in the last 3 years, if you go back to Anthony Santander. And there's a degree of familiarity as Cowser walks that hopefully will finally get the Orioles to hit this guy. Kobe Mayo, after a couple of walks, will step in with 2 on and 2 out. And Mayo takes a strike. Now Kobe's got to be careful to adjust his helmet here. Remember a few weeks ago, Kobe was called for a challenge on a pitch where he did not actually touch his helmet. The plate umpire in that game was John Tumpain, who was the plate umpire tonight. Mayo will take inside for ball one. All the experience against Zach Littell, and Kobe Mayo is facing him for the first time. Mayo, Jackson, and Basayo, the three Orioles in the starting lineup who have not faced Zach Littell. 2 on, 2 out here in the second. The 1-1 to Kobe. He swings and pops it up. Curtis Mead, hoping for some room, will run out of it. Well, Ben, the swings for Kobe Mayo, the approach for Kobe Mayo last series was a different guy than Kobe Mayo we've been seeing for a little while.
Yeah, he seems to be getting more comfortable. You look at the batting average. I know it's at 174, but he's been a pretty good hitter, runners in scoring position. Right at league average, 50. He's hitting with runners in scoring position.
RBIs for Kobe this year. 14 of his 16 have come with runners in scoring position. On 1-2, Littell misses very high. So a 9-pitch first inning for Zach Littell. He's thrown 22 here in the second, and Jeremiah Jackson awaits. Basayo and Cowser are the runners with 2 down. And Mayo is late on his slider. The first strikeout of the game for Zach Littell, and the Orioles strand a pair.
Bob Bellman.
Well, guys, we've joked this is the X-Rays game here. So many on both sides of this field have run through Tampa Bay at some point. Obviously, that includes manager Blake Gutierrez for the Nationals and Craig Albernaz. Now, these two have a relationship that stems back 11 years at this point. Craig reminiscing earlier today, saying, I still remember managing this guy when he first came up as a rookie in the Rays system, both describing each other as genuine earlier today. Now, rumor had it in Nationals camp.
Dalen Lyle sends a fly ball to the wall in center here, and Lyle will lead off for Blake Gutierrez Nats Mel with a second inning double.
Well, that's not a rumor, but the rumor was that Blake was going to prank Craig Albernaz, very similar to what we saw in Cleveland. However, the Nationals had a very nasty loss that got him pretty wrapped up instead. But Craig came to the ballpark early today. They spent a lot of time in his office just catching up and reminiscing. This was one of Craig's picks to be his bench coach over here. Obviously, a bigger opportunity came along for Blake, but these two just so extremely proud and thrilled for each other to be across the way.
Yeah, they've been on staff before together with the Rays as Brady House sends a ground ball to short. Gunnar Henderson as Shane Baz's first out of the second. Time in the system together, and here's Craig Albernaz and Blake Gutierrez before the game. The exchange of lineup cards. Not surprising, Albie had a few words to say to the youngest manager in decades in the majors, Blake Gutierrez.
Yeah, I know, what, over 50 years, the youngest manager. He was the youngest manager in the minor leagues. Got his first managerial job in the minor leagues at 25 years old. Y'all know where he's from, don't you?
Tell me, Ben. Tell the audience.
Do you know where he's from?
Blake Gutierrez?
Yeah.
Well, the fact that you're bringing it up is a good
You
hint.
could guess.
Yeah.
Metairie, Louisiana.
Right outside New Orleans.
And people around here say Buterra, but it's where he comes from is Buterra.
Well, here's Buterra and Albernaz intertwined in the Rays system. Craig was a hitting coach 2015 of the rookie ball Rays in Princeton. Blake was his second baseman. 2 years later, Blake was his bench coach. How about that? And then Buterra was a farm director as well. They were in the system together as managers in 2018. I asked Blake before the game what he actually did in 2017, because on MLB.com, minor league baseball site, it says he was the hitting coach. He goes, well, I was the bench coach, and I was the infield coach, and I was the first base coach. That's the way it goes when you're on a minor league team, and particularly a lower level minor league team. But made quite the connection as Baz throws back on Jorge Pibas. Just such an impressive young man, and we can say young. He is the youngest manager in about 5 decades in the majors, Blake Butera. And Craig Albert has said obviously a lot of 30-year-olds could not do what he does, 33-year-olds. But he felt like Blake's time as farm director prepared him well for this opportunity. Going to different affiliates, dealing with players of all levels, dealing with agents, dealing with coaches. There's a lot that goes in there, and it's pretty clear, Ben, talking to folks around the Nats, there's a respect that he's earned already, despite being younger than a whole lot of players in Major League Baseball.
Well, you look what he's done in the minors. I mean, 7 years with the Rays. You mentioned that, various roles. Minor league manager of the year 2 times in the minors. You talk about a fast mover, a fast climber. Somehow from Louisiana, he ended up going to college and playing college ball at Boston College.
Another way these two are intertwined, Massachusetts ties. Craig Albert has from Massachusetts. There's a breaking ball strike from Shane Baz. He just walked Jorge Bibas on 4 pitches. He's 1-1 now on Drew Millis, who is the Nationals' oldest player in the lineup today, position player at 28. Switch hitting catcher Millis at 179 as he swings and chops a ball back to Baz. The play is at first, and the underhand toss goes that way. Lyle to third, Bibas to second, and there are 2 away.
Nationals have been a hot team as of late. Won 5 of their last 8. They've won 4 of their last 6 series as well.
Here's Jacob Young, who made that dynamite running catch in the first inning. Now he's the king of electric catches in center field, Young. He's also the king of plays like that where he won't end up on a highlight reel because he tracks a ball down while he's still on his feet. He glides out there, he gets great jumps, and he makes it look a lot easier. Typically not a great hitter, just 218 coming into the game. As Young fouls away the first pitch here.
That's what's a little bit surprising about this offense, it being the 2nd best offense in baseball. They don't hit very well with runners in scoring position. They are 20th with runners in scoring position, but yet it's the 2nd best offense.
Yeah, middle of the pack in all of the slash line categories, runners in scoring position.
But man, if you look at extra base hits, they are there between the home runs, the doubles, and the triples.
No swing by Young on a curveball. It's 1-1. Jacob Young, 4th-year National, starting center fielder for the last 2 full seasons, and now this year making his 39th start in center. The Nats 45 games. A 1-1 pitch from Baz. Young takes a breaking ball out of play, and it's 1-2.
Well, a big chance for Baz right here. Anytime you give up a leadoff double, it gets hard to keep the other team from scoring, but he is just 1 pitch away from getting out of this.
Most frequent strikeout pitch has been the curveball for Shane Baz this year. Let's see if he goes to a 1-2. High fastball instead, which is punched to Pete. And Baz catches a huge break as a Young line drive nestles in Alonso's glove. Tuesday, May 26th, celebrate Jewish Heritage Night at Oriole Park as the O's host the Tampa Bay Rays at 6:35. Fans who purchase the special ticket package receive an exclusive Orioles Jewish Heritage Night jersey. Go to Orioles.com/ticket packages and secure your seat today. No hits, 2 walks for the Orioles. 1 walk, 2 hits for the Nationals. No runs through 2 as Jeremiah Jackson is robbed at third by Brady House. And a quick out for Zach Littell, courtesy of a third baseman who's really struggled defensively this year, but makes a good play there.
A couple of good plays already by the Nats. And boy, you're right. They have struggled on defense, have the Nationals this year. Matter of fact, they're fielding dead last in all of baseball. .974 fielding percentage. The most errors in baseball, the most unearned runs in baseball for the Nationals.
Ball 1 to Gunnar Henderson. Now, sometimes a team has a lot of errors, and Sometimes that's because they're a very rangy team and they get to a lot of balls. Maybe they make an error on a play that might have just gotten past another fielder. It's not really the case with the Nats. Gunnar Henderson scorches it foul. They just don't rate well defensively in any old school or new school metric you see. And if you get on base against the Nats, well, Millis and Keibert Ruiz, their two catchers, have only thrown out 4 out of 36 attempted base stealers. Gunnar flat out to center to lead off the game. It takes a ball in the dirt here. Second time through against Zach Littell. The league has crushed 1,093 OPS. As Henderson gets under this inside fastball, jammed only as far as shallow center, and Jacob Young. Gunners flat out to him twice. Where are the Orioles struggling so far, Ben, with Zach Littell?
I think they've had some pretty hittable pitches in some counts, and they've just missed them for, not totally missed them, but popped them up. Just hadn't put them on the barrel yet. Because he's the kind of guy that the fastball is really not going to beat you.
Slider is high to Taylor Ward. His fastballs, 4 and 2-seamer, according to Baseball Savant, have cost him 17 runs of value. Ward with a ground ball here. There's a 2-seamer stroke through the middle, and Taylor Ward has the Orioles' first hit.
Yeah, opponents came in hitting .385 off both the 2 and the 4-seam fastball from Littell. That's how hard it's been hit this year. And if you look at the swing and miss rates on that fastball, I mean, it's only 6% on the 2-seamer, only 4% on the 4-seamer. And the average big league 4-seamer gets missed about 22% of the time. But he's lost some velo over the years. You see where he was, right at 95 and 21. And it's been steady ticking down. Not quite a mile-per-hour loss from last year. But again, last year he had a really good year. Anytime you pitch to a 3.83 ERA and you make 32 starts, that's a good year. Of course, he chewed up a lot of innings as well last year between Tampa Bay and Cincinnati for Littell.
Hadley flat out to the warning track in left center his first time. That's been a home run in the Orioles' last game. Here's a quick throw on Ward at first. O's are 20 and 24 on the year, 8 and 12 on the road. The Nats 21 and 23. They are 6 and 13 at home. They've been absolutely dreadful at home. They're 15 and 10 on the road.
Yeah, they've been the worst team at home in baseball. Boy, they have been good on the road.
That's won a couple of games in a row in Cincinnati. Took the series before getting blasted 15-1 yesterday. However, they only threw 2 relievers. One was a position player, Joey Weimer, and one was Zach Kent, who was optioned after the game. So their bullpen is actually completely fresh. 0-2 is wide for Rutschman.
It hadn't been fresh all year, though. I mean, it's the most used bullpen in baseball for the Nationals. Their starters just have not given them a lot of length.
You can see the difference between home and road, the biggest disparity by far in Major League Baseball. There's a 1-2 for Adley. Swinging a foul ball just out of the mitt. We'll do it again. Ward was on the run there on a 1-2 count. That's the second lowest strikeout rate in baseball and the worst home run rate in the majors. Washington has allowed 64 homers in 44 games. Breaking balls high for Adley, and it's 2-2. Only 18 strikeouts, 39 innings for Zach Littell, 1 tonight. Ward with a big lead is thrown back to first for a second time. Taylor Ward only 1 for 3 as a base stealer this year. Not going on 2-2 as Rutschman strikes out. So Zach Littell in his .694 ERA put up 3 scoreless. State Memorial Day, Monday, May 25th. It's a Maryland replica jersey giveaway for 20,000 fans as the O's host the Rays, presented by MDOT's Work Zone Safety Campaign. Get your tickets now at Orioles.com/tickets. It is hot dog day at the ballpark. 20,000 of those hats given out here. Bad day to be a hot dog. Not a bad day to be a regular dog, though, as we saw the new Nationals team dog, Natty, who is just adorable. A little golden retriever lab mix. The Nationals official team dog and canine companion. Shane Baz to James Wood. That
Another cutter inside to a lefty. So that's different for Shane Baz.
What are we looking at here? What's on James's belt? Clouds?
Not sure what that is.
Are those red clouds? Oh, up the middle. Gunnar Henderson's right there. It's like they knew where he was going to hit it.
I'm just glad Shane Baz somehow got out of the way of that. That ball right back at him.
Some good luck for Shane in the second inning. Jacob Young's line drive with runners at second and third, 2 outs, went right to Pete Alonso. Easily could have been a 2-run double or triple down the line. Garcia into left field. Ward started in and now bends back to make the catch. So that's 4 pitches, 2 outs for Baz in the third.
Yeah, while we're not seeing a whole lot of wind on the flags out in left field, it looks like the wind's got to be pushing in, because a couple of those balls were hit by both teams. Could have left the yard, and none of them did.
Curtis Mead with 2 down. Mead swings to the first pitch, softly down to Mayo at third.
Nice play.
Even with a bag, he retires him for a 5-pitch inning. Baz gets the Nationals' top 3 order on the final 3 pitches. Long fly balls, but nothing doing. Through 3 against the Orioles and Nats this MLB season. Well, there is a long home run. Get a Baja for a blast when an Orioles home run clears 420 feet. You score a free 20-ounce Mountain Dew Baja Blast by registering at BajaBlastHomeRuns.com. Pete Alonso has a lot of those sorts of home runs in his career. And Pete takes a cutting slider called a strike. Was outside. Johnson Payne gave Zach Littell a little more off the edge there. And now Littell goes inside for ball 1.
Doubling up. Oh, it didn't get there either.
By the way, some of you eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed on the score bug top left of your screen, those 2 little white lines for each team, those are the challenges. So when a team loses a challenge, one of those lights will go out. ABS World, the automated ball strike system. Each team, of course, begins with 2. You can challenge many times as you want until you lose both. 1-2 for Pete. Away again. Alonso loves hitting against the Nats, loves hitting at Nats Park. Obviously did so quite a bit when he was a New York Met. 15 home runs in 55 games here at Nationals Park. .961 the on-base plus slugging. Pete will take a sweeper down and away. Now part of that was the park. Certainly part of that is just the Nats have not been very successful in Pete Alonso's career. Nats were the 2019 World Series champions, haven't come close to the playoffs since. And Pete's first year was 2019, so 6 years of pretty poor Nationals pitching he faced. 2-2 here. Alonso takes in the dirt, and it's 3-2. But he's had more home runs against this team than any other except for the Marlins.
A lot of everything against this team. A lot of base hits as well in his career. He has hit them well.
Looking for his first base hit against Zach Littell, though, and he is fighting pitch after pitch here. Most hits against any team, 115. There's a triple in there, and 28 home runs, mostly to the pull side. That's quite the fireworks display in D.C. for the Polar Bear. Ninth pitch you'll see from Littell. Alonso hits it in the air to right center field, sending Wood back. He makes the call on the warning track and puts away Pete. Well, cheer on the Orioles 1 week from tomorrow as they host the Detroit Tigers at 4:05. 15,000 fans will receive a Samuel Basallo bobblehead presented by Giant Food. Go to Orioles.com/tickets. Basallo getting his first taste of the Nationals. Orioles played the Nats twice early last year. And Sammy swings through a fastball from Littell. 3 1/3, just one hit for a guy who came in with a 6.94 ERA. And expected numbers that also did not flatter Zach Littell. In fact, his expected ERA is even worse. Normally you see 6.94 ERA, Ben, and it's a guy who's got some bad luck, probably a lot of soft contact falling. Zach Littell's expected ERA based on the walk, strikeouts, the quality of contact is 7.64. Wow. So you could say with an ERA near 7, he's actually been lucky.
What he did so well last year, I mean, he gave up 36 homers, but a lot of those home runs were solo shots. It's not been the case. 14 home runs this year. A lot more than solo shots so far this year.
And with runners in scoring position, the league's only 5 for 24, but a lot of those home runs with a runner on first. The walk home run pattern has not helped Zach Littell.
Well, Littell knows how to pitch. I mean, it's not been a great year for him, but he's in his 9th big league season.
Basallo way late on that fastball, thinking anything else. And that's 3 strikeouts for Zach Littell.
And he's been able to get some fastballs by. He got one by Basallo. He got one by Rutschman on the outside part of the plate. So it's almost like the Orioles with 2 strikes, kind of sitting on off speed. And if you do with him, he's got enough on that fastball, even though it's a little bit below big league average. When you talk about velocity, he'll sneak it by you if you're looking off speed.
Basallo looks perplexed in the dugout. And Alonso talking to Dustin Lin. The Orioles are trying to figure out what the heck is going on here.
Tyler O'Neill put a charge in one his last time up, but it left a bat. I thought it was a home run. It fell just to the warning track and straight away left field.
You could tell he's getting closer. Some of the swings in the Yankee series would have you believe that. Tyler is happy to be playing a little more consistently as well. He's healthy. Starting his 4th game in a row. We get the sense, Ben, that if Tyler O'Neill can string together a bunch of games in a row, if he can be consistent, as he's got one of 8 hard hit outs tonight, he can finally get himself on a roll. It's just been a matter of, frankly, being healthy enough to be able to be in the lineup. And O'Neill puts a charge into this one to deep left field. Lyle at the wall again will put it away. Man, oh man, the 3 letters that symbolize today's game. WTP. The 4th inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by Central Atlantic Toyota dealers. Shop Toyota for legendary style and reliability, and check out the all-new RAV4 at Toyota.com. Mustard came closer to visiting ballpark than maybe he has all year.
They weren't going to let Oriole Mustard win here at the Nats Park. There was no way.
Nah, they were just going to let him get tantalizingly close on Hot Dog Day. Teddy Roosevelt took on the racing president's race. C.J. Abrams singles to center on Shane Baz's first pitch of the 4th inning, and this game's still scoreless despite all the hard contact both ways. Baz has only struck out 1.
Pretty good move to the baseball. Boy, C.J. Abrams having him an outstanding year. 9 home runs already, 36 RBIs, and 7 stolen bases. And this is where the wheels begin to turn. We talked about the offense, and one of the big reasons why the Nats offense is so good this year, they are still in bases, man. 4th most stolen bases in baseball.
First pitch swinging, Dalen Lyle. Don't need to steal a base here to get to 3rd. Abrams will go first to 3rd on a Lyle base hit. And that shutout is in serious peril now, as Lyle has seen 2 pitches and is 2 for 2.
Well, the Nats wasted no time here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Looked like another cutter trying to get it inside, and that one never got there. He does a nice job pulling his hands in. Now for Shane Baz, it's about minimizing damage. It's okay to get about 1 here, but you want to stay away from the crooked number.
The last 5 pitches have been put in play. A James Wood ground out, then the last 4 Nats have all put the first pitch in play. So Brady House will take the first pitch low.
And I like that sinker right there by Baz. He's trying to create a ground ball. He's looking to turn too. The Nats have hit 27 double plays this year.
Middle of the pack in baseball, but they hit a lot of ground balls, period. 5th in ground ball rate. House chips a cutter into shallow right field. O'Neill comes bustling in. O'Neill dives and makes a tremendous catch. Comes up throwing late to the plate. It is a sacrifice fly, but a fantastic play by Tyler O'Neill. Saves a 3rd straight hit. And this has been his best defensive week in quite some time.
Yeah, that's like his 3rd really good play of the week. We saw him come in a very similar play in Baltimore, make a play just like that. I mean, lays out and watch how quick he gets to his feet. He gives it a shot at home plate, but Abrams way too fast. He went back to the bag and tagged up, and that score first. But an outstanding play by Tyler O'Neill.
22nd RBI for House in 41 games. And here's Jorbit Bibas. Lyle will run 2, not effectively. He's 3 for 6. Abrams did get that foot right to the edge of the bag. The Orioles appealed. Ben May correctly ruled that CJ was still on the base. 1 on 1 out for Bibas, who walked on 4 pitches. And yes, despite the V's in the name, it is Jorbit Bibas. 25-year-old from Venezuela who made his big league debut with the Yankees last year, which is 9 for 56. And hasn't hit for any power, but has gotten on base pretty well with the Nats at .333 on base percentage. Coming over in an off-season trade right before the start of the year. He's seen 6 pitches today, none of them strikes. Finally swings away after 6 straight balls. It's a pretty good pitcher's pitch, and Baz bests Bibas with a fly out to left. Time for our Working on a Win, presented by the Home Depot. It's certainly been better defensively for the Orioles over the last 9 games.
Yeah, it's what I wanted to see get cleaned up first, is the defense. And the last 9, it's really gotten cleaned up pretty well. Orioles had some scuffles early in the year. Matter of fact, first 35 games, see where the fielding percentage was, down towards the bottom of Major League Baseball, but not so much as of late.
Adley Rutschman's going to challenge this first pitch.
The previous pitch was called the ball, the catcher's challenge.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. Everybody stop and stare and look at the big screen. Wow.
The call is confirmed. Baltimore has 1
By
challenge
a
remaining.
breath.
That's a tough spot to lose a challenge. First pitch, 2 outs, 4th inning to the 8-hitter. It's not what you'd call a leverage spot. The Orioles do want Adley Rutschman to be more aggressive, challenging. His success rate's pretty high. But it puts the Orioles at 1 challenge for the rest of the game. It's 1-1 now on Millis. Millis grounded out meekly on a 1-1 fastball in the 2nd inning. Takes in the dirt here for ball 2. Drew Millis in his 4th year in the big leagues. First 3 years with the Nats, 11, 20, and 18 games. So this is his 30th. He's become the normal backup catcher, but splitting time fairly well with Keibert Ruiz after only getting a handful of stints, a few cups of coffee his first 3 years. It's his 4th big league year. He's barely over a year of service time total into the season. Millis swings away, fouls the ball out of play. Nats with 3 singles, a double, and a walk tonight. Boz has only struck out 1.
But he's only walked 1, KB. And that was kind of his bugaboo the last 2 starts. He had 8 walks in his last 2 starts. Only 1 so far tonight.
There's his 2nd strikeout. A curve rings up Millis, and the Nats get 1, but only 1 thanks to O'Neill's great play. Time for our all-state good hands replays. Good defense early from the O's.
Yeah, I love how Mayo circled this ball, got his momentum going towards first base. And of course, he's got that cannon of an arm. And then Tyler O'Neill coming hard from right field, lays out and picks that one right off the dirt. Ended up being a sacrifice fly. That's how the Nats would score the only run of the game. So the boys are picking it up on defense.
Improving Orioles, getting good plays from O'Neill and Mayo. Kobe Dup 2nd this inning.
Such an important series, such an important game for the Orioles, because we've seen this throughout the year so far. It looks like the Orioles, of course, beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. They got a lot of momentum, but we've seen them kind of have a couple of good games and they back up a little bit. Now you want to see them have a couple of good games and take another step forward. Going to be hard to do. I mean, the Nats are a good team. Then you got to go to Tampa for 3, and we all know that is a tough place to play in Tampa for sure. And that's one of the best teams in baseball as well. That's where the Orioles will go after this series. So, man, if the Orioles can figure out a way to go at least 3-3, and you hope for 4-2 in this 6-game road trip, it's going to be a good road trip. A lot easier said than done.
Well, they only have 1 hit, 2 walks against Zach Littell. Colton Cowser sprays an off-speed pitch down the line and left. That ball is foul. Almost got it in the corner with a splitter. The only hit of the game, but Taylor Ward 2-out single in the 3rd. Basayo and Cowser walked in the 2nd. Zach Littell has had a couple of decent starts this year. 5 innings, 1 run against St. Louis. 3 2/3, 1 run a couple of weeks ago against Milwaukee, but only 3 2/3 in long relief. Mostly, though, it's been an unsuccessful year. Gave up 8 runs in 3 consecutive starts. 8, 6, and 4 were the earned run totals in that. Nats have not played well behind him defensively. Last season, the major league leader in walk rate. Only 1.5 walks per 9 innings, 32 starts. Cowser rolls a splitter down the line and foul here, and it's still 2-2 for Colton.
And look, they've had some really good swings against Littell. Some balls have been barreled up, but not anything to show for it yet.
Wednesday, the O's had 7 runs on 10 hits, 3 walks against Max Fried, Paul Blackburn, and Ryan Yarbrough of the Yankees. In the dirt to Cowser. He's done better recognizing that splitter from Zach Littell. He homered last year off Zach Littell down in Tampa Bay on an 0-2 high slider. And Zach's only thrown him 1 slider here. Goes with a fastball 3-2. It's off the glove of Meade at first, but he recovers to get Cowser. Another good Orioles at bat leads to nothing.
And another really good defensive play by the Nationals as well. See Curtis Meade over at first base, goes hard, and he just all he can do just to knock it down. But I tell you what, give Littell a lot of credit. He got over there quickly.
Pitch count at 69 for Zach Littell. It may not be much longer for this game, though.
Very possible. I mean, that's when he threw his last time out. Of course, it was in a follower role. They've been using the opener with him a little bit. He threw 69 in a relief role his last time out against the Marlins. Worked 4 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. Walked a batter, did not strike out anyone in that outing.
He's facing Mayo. Jeremiah Jackson's after that. And he may not get to the Orioles a 3rd time through because left-hander Andrew Alvarez, who's a very successful minor league starter, is warming up. Alvarez just added to the roster today. 1-1 to Mayo. Just figure the Orioles have enough bites at the apple here against Zach Littell. They're finally got to break through. They may not get many more bites, though, as Mayo gets jammed on a good 2-seam.
Littell's done a good job of taking that 2-seamer and getting it inside to the right-handers.
Struck out Kobe in this count in the 2nd on a slider up and away. He goes up and in here. May have stung him with a 4-seamer. That's a hit by pitch.
Just kind of grazed that right hand, maybe. 4-seamer up and in. Oh, it actually got down on that, looked like on the wrist area of that right hand. Yeah, you can see, looked like that little sleeve he's got on just barely moved a little bit.
Kobe is hit by a pitch for the first time this year. It gives the Orioles a 1-out base runner in the 5th.
Second baseman Jeremiah Jackson.
So that's the 3rd free pass issued by Littell. His first hit batter of the year.
Well, I'd like to see Jeremiah Jackson get going. He's been a little bit of a slow the last 3 or 4 series. 0 for 4 against the Yankees.
Feels like we're overdue for a big Jeremiah Jackson swing, doesn't it? Game 1 of that doubleheader against Houston, had a grand slam, knocked in 5. He has not driven in a run since then. 12 games without an RBI.
Just a little bit off. He's had some pretty hittable pitches. He's just not been able to barrel them up.
Let's check in with Mel.
I asked Jeremiah about this, and of course he set the bar very high for himself with a hot start to the season. He actually has started watching video again. He used to watch it too much. He was going up there trying to feel something he thought he saw in his replays. But he's actually joined Taylor Ward in rewatching his stuff now, and they cannot really find a difference in the way he moves when he's making these decisions. And I love this because it's the same attitude he had about trying to make the team. He said, the baseball gods just don't want me to hit right now. So it's going to come when it will. I've got to keep doing my own thing, and we'll figure it out. If I square up one, I'll stack them on from there.
Yep. Well, the swing decisions is the only thing I see, Mel. I mean, that's what he's kind of struggling with. That's a perfect example right there. 2-0 count, you're looking for a pitch that you could drive. You get a little cutter. It's borderline even a strike. Not a pitch, if you do hit it, you're going to hit very hard at all. So, to me, I don't see anything different about mechanics or his swing. I just think his swing decisions aren't quite as good as what they were early in the year.
We got a perfect example of it as Jackson fouled out to the catcher. Littell will stay in to face Gunnar Henderson a 3rd time, and Henderson grounds a splitter foul. Lefty Alvarez is ready. Blake Gutierrez is going to try to squeeze one more out of Zach Littell. And this is a batter in Gunnar Henderson who's hit him well. A couple of home runs against Littell. He's flied out to center field twice today. On to first, and Mayo dives in. In today's baseball world, the numbers we have, the numbers on Zach Littell, this move comes with some degree of risk. But now the odds are in Littell's favor with a 1-2 count advantage.
Oh, that's what you'd love to see Gunnar Henderson just shorten up a little bit and just try to put barrel on ball.
Gunnar was 0 for 12 against the Yankees. 0 for 2 today. 0 for his last 15. That ball hammered to right field, sending Wood back. It's a screaming line drive off the wall. Hit so hard it can't score Mayo. My word.
That's just bad luck for the Orioles. That ball off the wall, it could have kicked anywhere, and I mean anywhere. But unfortunately for the Orioles, James Wood was right there, and the ball literally kicked right to him on one hop. Off the bat at 112. Watch this ball. I mean, it's in the crease of the wall right there, kind of in the corner. Could have went anywhere. James Wood in the right place. He quickly gets it in, so it'll be second and third with 2 out now for the Orioles.
Hardest hit ball of the year by Gunnar Henderson. A few feet to the right, you're talking a 2-1 Orioles lead. Simon Matthews, the pitching coach, is out for Washington. Well, if you thought Blake Butera was young, check out the pitching coach, Simon Matthews. He is 30. Met Sean Doolittle a few years back when Matthews was coaching at Driveline, minor league instructor. First-year pitching coach. Here's Ward. How aggressive will he be? Not aggressive on a zoom ball from Littell, who stays in there for Ward for a third time.
Yeah, and you would think the Orioles have seen everything that Zach Littell has at this point. Gunnar Henderson's swing with 2 strikes, outstanding. We hope Taylor Ward has just as good a swing. Oh, pretty hittable pitch right there.
The Nats are flirting with disaster here. Second and third, 2 down. Ward with a sharp single as last time in a 1-1 count. Up and into Taylor. He's nearly hit as well. Remember, Taylor got hit on the hand early in the year. Is wearing that guard over his left hand. Maybe that zaps some of his power. Chases his slider there for strike 2.
2-seamer in, slider away. Now you just got to battle. Taylor Ward this year has been as good as anybody at battling.
The 2-2. Not even close. Tried to go back to the slider, threw it hard. One false step and Littell's outing falls off the cliff. One right step and he heads into the dugout with 5 shutout innings, which makes this a particularly high stakes pitch. Three and 2. Hard ground ball down to third. Brady House inning over. Not without some trepidation. But despite the rip double by Henderson, the Orioles do not score again. Let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend, June 5th through the 7th. Encourage the kids everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you today. Orioles strand a pair in scoring position in the 5th. O's fans and Nats fans celebrating together. Some more vocally than others. 1-0 Washington. You know, we came into this game and said these teams are elite pitching staffs with elite defenses, right? This is exactly how we thought this game would go. We nailed it. We were on top of it as always.
We thought, thought it was going to be high. But you know what?
15 to 12.
But I feel
Let's
like
be honest
every
about
time we come here, what was it, last year or year before last, all 3 games decided by 1 run. Well, I think it was 2 years ago.
I think it was 2 years ago.
I think every time we come here, it feels like it's lower scoring games.
Drawn in Mayo will retire Jacob Young. Just some context. Just the facts, folks. Just the facts.
It's baseball, Kevin.
Orioles 26th in ERA. It is baseball, Ben. Well said. Nats 29th in ERA. Fielding percentage, Orioles are 27th, Nats are 30th. Outs above average, Orioles are 25th, Nats are 28th. Offense, Orioles are 14th, Nats are 2nd. So, of course, this is the game we have. Marked by strong defense for both teams and good pitching between Shane Baz and Zach Littell, who certainly danced along the wire at times.
Well, this is a big inning for Shane Baz, going through the lineup for the 3rd time now.
And his pitch count is extremely low. James Wood fly out to center, ground out to short. Very dangerous hitter. James Wood's baseball savant ranks this season. Red is good, and holy smokes is this red. Now he'll swing and miss a lot, but the average exit velocity, he hits the ball on average harder than literally any other player in the majors.
He is a big dude too, man. That's an elevated strike on him for sure. And another cutter to the inside part.
What do you make of that pitch tonight?
I like it. I mean, we've been saying Shane Baz needs to pitch a little bit more inside on both sides of the plate, to the righties and the lefties. And if he feels like he can control that cutter inside the lefties, I'm all for it. Because that's what it does to you right there. It speeds the bat up. It kind of makes you think, okay, I got to get going. And out of the same window, what he's been able to do tonight against the lefties is cutter in for a strike, and then out of that same window, the curveball swing and miss behind it. And that's kind of how he's attacked. Now he's opened up the outside part of the plate if he chooses to go to the outside part.
High breaking ball, power to left and foul. You know what we haven't seen tonight with a cutter? We haven't seen multiple changeups. We've only seen Shane throw 1 changeup in the game. There you go, 2%. It was to James Wood, the 2nd pitch of this at bat, his only changeup of the night.
Yeah, and opponents are hitting 333 on that changeup going in. That's probably a reason why he hadn't thrown it a whole lot.
Back to the curveball, no swing by Wood. It's 3-2. Kid who grew up going to games at Camden Yards and Olney, Maryland, born in Rockville. An all-star last year in his first full big league season. Wood takes strike 3.
Boy, oh boy, what a pitch. 3-2, you got to throw a strike, and he pins that knuckle curve in there. I'm going to tell you, you can't throw one any better than this. This is what you call knocking a little paint off the inside corner or somewhere around the inside part of the plate.
Maybe you could throw it slightly better than that, but that's okay. John Tumpane gave him the hammer. Luis Garcia with a pop-up into foul ground. Kobe Mayo touches the edge of the coach's box, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Shane Baz on 10 pitches. Very efficient through 5 in a 1-0 game. Stream Asset Plus today on iOS and Android mobile devices. Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. Asset Plus monthly subscriptions are available for only $19.99 a month. Go to massensports.com or scan the QR code to get yours today. Into the 6th we go. Shane Baz 5 innings of 1-run ball. Zach Littell 5 innings of no-run ball, and Littell is done. Andrew Alvarez, just called up from the minor leagues today, will come into the game for the Nats in the 6th, and will come in to face the heart of the Orioles order.
Alvarez, curveball leads the way, 4-seam fastball and a sinker and a slider. So a 3-pitch mix. That was his outing on the 19th against San Francisco. Not extremely hard thrower. Fastball just below big league average, right about 93.
Alvarez, a 12th round pick of the Nats in 2021 out of Cal Poly. There's his slider for strike to Rutschman. He's been a starter in the minors this year with AAA Rochester. He's pitching on 6 days of rest. .529 ERA, 7 games with the Red Wings. A lot of strikeouts, a lot of walks in AAA. Well, we'll see how long Alvarez goes. Again, well stretched out. The Nats did not use any relievers that are currently on the team yesterday. Zach Kent soaked up a couple of innings, and then Alvarez was added to the roster. Kent was optioned. And then Joey Weimer, position player, pitched the end of a 15-1 loss. Rutschman with a ground ball to shortstop. And the Nationals, for a 6th straight time, retire the Orioles leadoff hitter. Remember, yesterday the Orioles had the leadoff man on the first 6 innings and 7 out of 8.
Well, that's what you want. You want constant pressure. The Orioles had not been able to apply that so far tonight. Only 2 opportunities so far with runners in scoring position. They are 0 for 2.
Alvarez a little outside to Alonso. Couple of outs in the air to right field for Pete Alonso. A 2-0 count to Pete here. Alvarez was the Nats minor league pitcher of the year in 2023. Had a .299 ERA between IA Wilmington, AA Harrisburg. He's been in AAA parts of the last 3 years.
Yeah, and the sample size of the big leagues, he's been good so far.
26-year-old dumps in a slider for strike.
Well, you can tell what pitch he favors the most, at least tonight anyway. A lot of sliders so far.
Pete gets under one here. This should be playable for House, charging down from third. He's got it. Adley and Pete a combined 0 for 6 now, the 3 and 4 spots. 2 down for Samuel Basayo. Basayo tries to bunt.
How about that?
Huh. I mean, certainly Brady House is nowhere near third. Craig Albernaz is not.
Albie seems to like it. Well, he's reading that defense, man. And the defense pushed all the way back, including the third baseman, Brady House. It felt like if he could just get one on the ground, he could get the party started for the Orioles. Didn't work out.
Now, of course, Samuel Basayo is a guy that can get the party started with his swing. But certainly he tried to take matters into his own hands there and reach first. Now time called. Millis appears to be having a pitch comm issue, so he says. You know, and we said we expect a nice crisp 1-0 game, well pitched, good defense. We also figured Samuel Basayo would be bunting. Once again, everything we figured would happen tonight has happened.
You just never know.
And the dirt 1-2. Sammy's 2-strike approach has been so strong in the last few weeks, but not here. Alvarez hooks him. 1-2-3 inning out of the Nationals bullpen. Lock in your block of seats, your hospitality package today, and save big. Group seating offers a wide variety of seating and pricing options to fit any group's needs. Visit Orioles.com/groups to learn more. 6th inning in D.C. Kevin Brown, Ben McDonald way up high here at Nationals Park. Melanie Newman looks like an ant somewhere down below on the field. It's a 1-0 game. Curtis Mead leads off the Nationals 6th. Mead takes down and away from Shane Baz. Now that is the spot for Shane Baz. Down and away to righties, down and into lefties. That's where he's been pretty much all game. He hasn't thrown anything at all down and away to a lefty, and really hasn't gone much down and into righties. And yet he's had success. Why has he had success despite being in pretty much the same locations all game?
I think for the lefties, I've loved the fact he's thrown the cutter into the lefties and followed up with the breaking ball behind it. That's kind of how he's attacked a lot of the lefties. Again, he struggled with his changeup for me from time to time down and away. But the four-seam fastball command, I think, has been a little bit better. And maybe it's just one of those nights where he just feels more comfortable. And boy, the pitch count, outstanding. And I mean outstanding for him.
15 was his highest stress inning in terms of pitch total. Fourth inning, Abrams singled. Lyle singled him to third. House picked up an RBI with a sac fly. Those are the next three hitters due up. It's the 60th pitch of the night coming here from Shane. That's wide to Mead. It's 3-2. Now, if you're the Nationals, you're a right-handed batter, you get your toes up on the plate a little bit.
Absolutely.
Based on what you've seen.
I mean, yeah, for the third time through. And if he's not going to attack you inside at all, why wouldn't you, as a right-handed hitter, kind of scoot up on that plate a little bit and be able to get to that cutter, be able to get to the curveball, the fastball on the outside part of the plate? Rutschman rocking towards the outside again.
He takes it wide. That's where everything was in that sequence, and the Nationals have the leadoff man on for the third time in 6 innings. Just the second walk for Shane this evening, and it brings up cleanup man C.J. Abrams. So this can be the danger zone now, third time through against the middle of the order. Abrams with a sharp base hit last time on a curveball. Oz goes inside again. All those pitches inside to lefties, outside to righties, known as the glove side pitches, finishing on the side where Shane Baz's glove finishes. There's just his second changeup of the game. Well, you're going to have to get it arm side for C.J. Abrams, because look at what he does on pitches in.
Yeah, in is not where you want to attack him. That's for sure. See that blue kind of down and away, so you get there with a two-seam fastball, you get there with a changeup. Now that changeup never got to the outside part. It was pretty much middle. There's a better pitch.
Up and away there, a little backdoor cutter. Abrams in his last 15 games, .333, 15 RBIs, on base plus slugging. That OPS is at .967.
He's done it all this year. I mean, when I say done it all, he has done it all. Stolen bases, hit for a good average, power. And how about with runners in scoring position for C.J. Abrams this year? .370. Now, he's kicked it a few times at shortstop, and he'll do that from time to time. But boy, does he get to a lot of balls.
Baz on 1-2. Breaking ball sliced out of play, back to the cutter. This is on track to be Shane's highest pitch inning of the game. He's already thrown 10. Unless he can get a double play here somewhere. C.J. Abrams has grounded into 3.
You'd certainly take that. I'd take a punch out too. Like that.
Half swing by Abrams.
And that was by design. Fastball up. You hope you get a swing and miss. You didn't get one little emergency hack. But that knuckle curve's been pretty good. And I would not be surprised at all if he follows up an elevated fastball with a good knuckle curve down.
Well, you're not surprised. Neither was Abrams.
Just cooked it a little bit too far in. It was a ball out of the hand. If he gets that more of the middle part of the plate, it's probably a swing and a miss.
A year that has been by far the lowest swing and miss rate of Shane Baz's career. Only 3 strikeouts tonight. Abrams vaults one to center field. Hauser makes the catch for the first out. 7-pitch battle won by Baz in the end. And 1 on 1 out for Dalen Lyle, who has 2 hits and has only seen 2 pitches.
I believe I'd start Lyle off with a breaking ball.
First time any of these hitters have faced Shane Baz in the big leagues. First time he's ever faced the Nats. Lyles wasted no time, and he started off with a fastball, and he finally takes one.
And how about the velocity on that fastball? Maybe the best of the night for Shane Baz. We've seen a couple of 97s. I don't know if I've seen a 98 yet here in the 6th inning.
He's thrown 95 pitches in 7 straight starts. He's just about to throw number 70 here. Breaking ball, dug out to right field, hit pretty well. O'Neill at the wall will turn and watch it go. 2 first pitch hits for Dalen Lyle, a second pitch hit. He didn't have to wait much longer this time for a 2-run homer. And Lyle, who has been insanely hot, hits his 7th home run of the year to make it 3-0 Washington.
Goodness, huh? 103 off the bat. Now that one carried 300 and nearly 80 feet. Knuckle curve, trying to get it more to the outside part of the plate. Boyd just hung right in the center of the plate. Lyle's 7th long ball, his 24th RBI, and that's up by 3.
Lyle, who is a Louisville native, had a ton of friends and family in town at Cincinnati over the last 3 days. Had a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 10th inning on Wednesday. 2 homers, 4 RBIs, 3 for 5 on Tuesday. So he has been swinging an outrageously hot bat, and Lyle now has 4 homers in the last 4 games. 3 hits tonight on 4 pitches seen, 3 hits on 3 swings. What a find here for the Nats. Young man who was a 2nd rounder at a Trinity High School in Louisville 5 years ago. Strike 3 called to Brady House. Baz gets the backwards K, his 4th strikeout.
Right at the top of the zone. Shane Baz 1 out away from his first quality start of the year. He does not have one yet.
Ball 1 to Jorby Bibas. I mean, imagine if I told you at the beginning of last year Dalen Lyle would be one of the Nats' hottest hitters, and Dylan Cruz would be in Rochester the whole year, playing okay. Cruz is 2nd overall pick in the draft 3 years ago out of college. And Lyle, I mean, look, he was a 2nd round pick out of high school. It's not like Dalen Lyle was a nobody, but what a couple of years it's been for him. Just a reminder that you just don't know about development. Don't know which guys are going to zoom past a player you think is a sure thing prospect.
And for how long it's going to last either. That's another thing you don't know.
Bibas fouls away a curveball. Second highest scoring team in baseball. Took a little while to get there, but they put up 3 runs today. And the Orioles need 3 runs in the next 3 innings. 2-2 from Baz. .24 pitch inning. This will be pitch number 80 on the night. And it is fouled away. Slowly but surely, the Nats have put some stress on Shane Baz. He's going to throw a 7th one here to Bibas. And up and in. Did he swing? No. That's a walk. The 2nd of the inning and 3rd of the game. And Bibas, the number 7 hitter, has 2 of those 3 walks. Drew French to the mound. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Orioles and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Baltimore Orioles. Well, the pitch plots remain basically the same for Shane Baz in this inning, and maybe, just maybe, Dalen Lyle was thinking down in on that 0-1 curveball. Either way, there's been a little bit of unpredictability in the way he's used his cutter to lefties, Ben, but the location of the pitch is pretty predictable for Shane tonight.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting for one of those starts where he has the glove side and the arm side both work.
Well, that's where he'd eventually love to get. But if you watch Shane Baz go down the slope, he gently pulls toward the left side, which makes it harder for him to get the ball to the outside part of the plate on the left-handers.
Baz 0 for 1 as a base stealer this year. Nats have not attempted one tonight. Fourth in the majors with 44 steals.
Because a few times tonight he's tried to go to the arm side. Rutschman's setting up on the arm side here. We'll see if he gets it out there.
He did, and Millis lined it out to left. A 2-run homer for Dalen Lyle, though. And it's 3-0 Nats after 6.
Are you ready for the weekend, baby? Come on. Are you ready for the dance floor where we belong? Are you ready for the weekend, baby? Come on. 'Cause I can hardly wait. No, I can hardly wait. There's no stopping us. There's no stopping us. There's no stopping us.
Bad day to be a hot dog. Good day to be a pitcher so far. 3-0. The Washington lead into the 7th. The Orioles threw their first shutout of the year Wednesday. The first time they've been involved in a shutout. They're trying to avoid being shut out for the first time all season on Friday against the second worst pitching staff in baseball by ERA. Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald with Melanie Newman, our wonderful Mass and crew alongside. Friday night in D.C. And a 1-2 count. Andrew Alvarez, a rookie in his second big league game of the year, pitching to Tyler O'Neill. Zach Littell shut the Orioles down today in the middle of a dreadful start to the season. He found vintage Littell. He's now pitched 11 games against the Orioles, never allowed more than 3 runs. And O'Neill is punched out looking one away. Orioles are not picking up that curveball well from the very good young left-hander Alvarez.
Looks like 2 different breaking balls. And he looks like he's throwing them 2/3 of the time to me. Between the slider and the curveball, and I think if you're the Orioles right now, just sit on breaking balls. Looks like Blaze Alexander's going to grab a bat.
The Nats don't have anybody warming in the bullpen. They are going to let Alvarez ride this out for a little while. So Drew Millis will talk over the scouting report. Zach Littell's first scoreless appearance since July 30th of last year. And his first start with no earned runs, 2 or fewer hits since September of 2024. 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 walks, 3 Ks, 87 pitches, 49 strikes. Orioles hit a ton of fly balls to the warning track or thereabouts, but that was that. So Alvarez attacks Alexander and gets the advantage. Blaze had a wonderful game on Wednesday, 3 for 4. Scored 2, drove in 2, and stole a base. OPS is still low, but the numbers are trending upwards for Alexander after a slow start to his Oriole career. And Blaze punches a ball to shortstop here, and Abrams throws him out. Orioles tonight Hitting him in the air. Gunnar Henderson's double a little bit to the right would have been a 2-run homer, and then 4 of these warning track flyouts and right around 350, 360 feet or more. Not exactly the loudest contact, Ben, but a bunch of swings that were oh so close to doing more damage. And here's some damage done on a ball that's absolutely lambasted by Kobe Mayo.
Mayo wasting no time at all. How about 117 off the bat? Word. That was loud. That's what you call a collision at home plate. The sound of that, huh? That's about as solid as you can hit one.
That is by about 2.5 miles per hour the hardest hit ball of Kobe Mayo's Orioles career, his big league career, obviously. My gosh. Well, here's Jeremiah after that sharp single by Mayo, who's been on base twice again. And it's 2-0 for Jackson now.
This is where you want to see Jackson kind of get back to attacking balls that he can drive hard here. Got the count in his favor. He can sit on whatever he wants to sit on in the heart of the plate.
Oh, he got a 2-0 slider. Jeremiah grounded out to third, fouled out to the catcher. 2-1 for Jackson. Rips one to the screen. That Kobe Mayo hit StatCast era 2015 on. So we're talking 12 years now. That is tied for the 6th hardest hit ball by any Oriole in the last 12 years. Only behind 3 from Mark Trumbo, 1 from Manny Machado, and 1 from Ryan Mountcastle. Mark, Manny, Mounty, and Mayo with the 4 hardest hitters on any particular ball of any Oriole in the last 12 years. Three and 2 for Jackson. Mayo will be on the run here with 2 outs. And Jackson smokes the ball to left field. Lyle will play this one off the base of the fence. Kobe's going to be stopped at third. They just keep hitting it too hard. That's another absolutely torched double with a runner at first and 2 outs. Gunnar couldn't get in Kobe in the 5th. Jeremiah can't get him into the 7th because he hits at 111. But it's 2nd and 3rd for Henderson.
Yeah, but if you're Buck Britton at third base, you can't take a chance here, right? If it's a 1-run ball game, it's a green light. You try to score Kobe Mayo all the way from first base. But because you're 3 runs down right here, the idea is to bring the tie-in run to the plate. That's what the Orioles have done. See, Mayo's thinking about scoring. He gets the brakes put on right there. 1-run game, I'm sure it's a green light.
That's a strike to Gunnar. Just clipped the inside edge. Henderson's got something in his eye.
Boy, the Orioles just trying to bust through with a big base hit. 0 for 2 tonight. Runners in scoring position.
Got a screaming double in the 5th. Left on left. Gunnar is in an 0-2 hole. Very poor swing at that slider. And now he's in a fight for his baseball daily life here in the 7th after he snapped it 0 for 15 in the 5th.
How about just a blooper ball? I'll take one of those.
Sure. And a Derek good stop by Millis. He has trouble behind the plate. He's committed 4 pass balls this year. That was a very nice block.
If the Orioles, you got to be ready for plays just like that, because the Nationals 22 wild pitches on the year. That is the most in baseball. So be ready for the ball to kick.
2 on, 2 out, 2 strikes on Gunnar. He held up.
Boy, that was close too. I mean, that was about as close as it gets. I don't even want to see the side view. Oh, gosh. Oh, he did.
No,
okay, I
he
feel
did,
pretty
he
good
did.
about that.
Yeah,
Felt like if he'd have hit it, it'd have been a double.
sometimes ignorance is bliss, but that was the right call by Ben May. It's 2-2. He strikes out, and that's the inning. Back goes down, and for a frustrated Henderson, O's can't catch a break tonight. Orioles have left 7. They trailed by 3 in the 7th. Jacob Young batting for third time against Shane Baz. And Young grounds the first pitch to Mayo. Second time tonight, Jacob Young has grounded out to Kobe Mayo. 6 1/3, 3 runs now. And Shane Baz has had a solid night, marred by that 2-run homer by Dalen Lyle in the 6th, but very efficient pitch count.
I think if I had told you before the game that with this offense the Nats have, if Shane Baz would have gone 6 1/3, given 3 runs, we probably all would have taken it.
No doubt.
And look, that ties his longest outing of the year.
He's not even close to his longest pitch count of the year, which is 104 2/3 last time. 84 6 1/3 tonight inside to James Wood here. First pitch strikes have been better, not elite, better. 16 out of 28 for Baz. It's 57% number. His first pitch strike rate a little lower than that on the year. They haven't fallen into too many deep counts. He's walked 3. Struck out 4. Saw Blaze Alexander, who pinch hit for Colton, is into the game at center.
You got to be careful here too.
Don't want this to be 6 1/3, 4 runs.
There you go. Fastball's been good though. The velo's been good. He's carrying 97 all the way into the 7th here.
Two and one now. Oh boy. Oh, goodness gracious.
How hard would that come off the bat?
800 miles per hour. Only 112. Only. I know that got to Gunner's glove, but that's a base hit for James Wood. That can't be an error. That was absolutely massacred.
Right on the backhand side too. Did he even get a glove on that, or did it get off his? That almost looked like it hit him on the leg, and he never even got a glove on it at 112. Well, James Wood, he will run. 7 stolen bases on the year.
There have been some absolute screamers tonight. Yeah, I think you're right there.
Yeah, it looked like it went
Off the knee.
Yeah, underneath the glove. He never even got a glove on it.
That might leave a mark. Could be a more purple Gunnar Henderson. Ground ball foul. It's 0-2.
I couldn't tell if that ball was knuckling or just kind of sinking on him.
You know, there's nothing in sports quite like the reaction time a hitter needs to judge a big league fastball. The reaction time Gunnar needed to judge that fastball off the bat. It's probably pretty similar.
You talk about
shortstop
on you,
man.
And Gunnar was about as deep as you could be too.
Fought off foul by Garcia. 97 from Baz here in the 7th inning. Strikeout, fly out, foul out for Garcia.
Well, if you're Shane Baz, man, whatever you got left in the tank, he's at 91 pitches in. You just got to rip it from here on out. Got to be everything you got.
It's looking like he's throwing everything he's got.
He is.
Garcia, who was a part of the Nats' future for a few years and is in his 7th big league year now at 25, is just up there hacking. 7 big league years, he's walked 114 times. That's it.
Change up, huh? You see how he misses to the outside part of the plate, though? I mean, that's what I'm talking about. He's got a gradual pull inside the lefties. And even when Rutschman sets up on the outside part, he struggles to get the ball there.
In the dirt again. Wood will hold. Ball rolled back out toward the pitcher. That is Josh Walker, one of the new Orioles.
Boy, it could be an easy fix for Shane Baz. Look where he stands on the rubber, KB. He's all the way to the first base side. If I was having trouble getting it to the arm side, maybe every now and then move towards the third base side.
Garcia to right field, foul. He tried to shove it inside on him again.
Because you'd be surprised, hitters won't even notice when you do that. Like if you're thinking about, okay, I want to go down the way to a lefty right here, just set up your shoe maybe 6 inches further towards the other side of the rubber. The hitter never notices that, but that gives you 6 more inches to play with. So it's an easy adjustment. I used to move around the rubber all the time depending on who was hitting and where I was having trouble. But he is all the way to the first base side. Trying to go away again.
Got it away, up and away. 4 foul balls with 2 strikes here from Garcia.
Now, Rick Sutcliffe was a master out of the windup of not even getting to the rubber. He'd start his windup and he'd step about 6 inches in front of the rubber and let it go just to gain 6 inches on you. Of course, it was an illegal pitch, but nobody ever saw it.
Missed up and away again. It's 3-2. Baz going to throw his 98th pitch of the night. This is almost exactly where he's been the last 7 starts. Fouled away by Garcia.
Backdoor cutter.
This is some at bat. He's thrown more pitches in this at bat than he did in the 3rd of the 5th inning. 3rd inning only threw 5. 5th inning 10. This will be the 11th to Garcia. Slicing line drive into center right at Alexander. Very well hit ball, but finally put one in play and put it at somebody. And on the 11th pitch, Shane Baz will momentarily rest, stay in there to face Curtis Mead.
That should be a season high for Shane Baz. 6 2/3. Boy, he'd love to get one more.
Now remember his last game against the A's, had a very long at bat with Tyler Soderstrom, 14 pitches. The next at bat, Brent Rooker hit a home run.
Elevated cutter to the backside of the field. I remember that one.
And Mark Kotze after the game was saying you really should charge Soderstrom with the home run for the work he put in and the stress he put on Baz before the Rooker home. This will be a season high 101 pitches now. It's up and away to Mead.
This one you're focused because obviously he's starting to get a little bit tired. Been a long inning. Focus has to be at the highest level and empty the tank.
Hitting a walk for Mead tonight.
There you go. That's a good pitch, huh?
#103rd pitch coming. 3 shy of a career high for Shane Baz. It's fought off foul.
Got to finish him right here. Either cutter away or curveball.
Cutter away.
Didn't quite get it all the way out there, but it's a good try.
Look at what the Nats have done in the 6th and 7th innings. 49 of Shane's 104 pitches. I mean, this is closing in on half his pitches in the game coming in the last 2 innings.
And that's not uncommon, right? They see him for the 3rd, for the 4th time through the lineup, so it gets more difficult. He is just one big pitch away from getting through 7th here.
Mead laces it out of play, and the next pitch will tie a major league career high for Shane Baz. Through 106 June 15th last year at the Mets. He's thrown the most pitches by any Oriole this year. Here comes number 106. And there will be number 107.
Man, I like it. He's lost hardly anything on the fastball velocity.
The last two Nats, Garcia and Meade, have fouled off 9 two-strike pitches. And still Shane Baz is throwing 97.
Does he have one good hook left in him? Just one more good curveball down.
Not quite. This is going to be a 9th pitch to Meade after 11 to Garcia. It's a 2-2 in the 7th, and first a throw on first. I don't think James Wood is running. If he's had about 100 chances to do by now.
He's never even act like he wanted to try to take an extra 9er.
Here's pitch number 108. And that is carved out into center. Blaze Alexander's there. Well, most pitches thrown by Shane Baz in the big leagues, and he gets through 7 innings, a 3-run ball. Now the O's need some runs for him. Star Wars weekend is coming to Camden Yards May 29th through the 31st. Friday, Star Wars themed fireworks presented by SeatGeek. Saturday, Jordan Westberg bobblehead with Grogu. First 15,000 or just 15,000 fans presented by PNC. Star Wars kids poster, 10,000 fans 12 and under on Sunday. Don't miss this epic galactic weekend. Orioles.com/tickets. May the force be with you. Ground ball. Of course, not with the Oriole bats tonight. 7 1/3 shutout from Littell and Alvarez. And Blake Gutierrez had no interest in warming up anybody else in the bullpen. Alvarez just cruising. Here are the lines for Littell and Baz.
2 good outings. I mean, both of these guys scuffling a little bit coming in. Littell goes 5, shutout, only 2 hits. And boy, Shane Baz, a season high 7 innings of work. His first quality start of the year and a career high in pitches.
.108 thrown by Baz. He gave up a 4th inning run. A single by Abrams, single by Lyle, a house sac fly. 6th inning, Meade walked, Lyle homered. That's it in 7 innings. But the Orioles have done nothing against Littell and Alvarez in the run column. They do have 4 hits, a hit batter, and a couple of walks. They've stranded all 7. Left runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 5th when Ward grounded out after a Gunnar double. Left runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 7th when Gutter struck out after a Jeremiah Jackson double. Left runners at 1st and 2nd in the 2nd. Kobe Mayo struck out.
Just hadn't been able to get the big hit. Not the one that's mattered.
And a 2-0 to Rutschman as a strike dropped by Millis. Orioles tonight with runners in scoring position are 0 for 3. Same as the Nats, but the Nats have a sac fly with a runner in scoring position and a 2-run homer. Here's the 2-1 down and into Rutschman.
Big Pete waiting his turn.
Rutschman is the first player to see Alvarez a 2nd time.
Orioles are running out of at bats.
Called strike 2. And that was outside, but Adley lost a challenge while catching tonight. Might have been a little more hesitant to do so because of that. Orioles down to 1 challenge. You can see the lights. One of them faded on the scorebook, top left of your screen. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Adley Rutschman tonight. Alvarez has been outstanding.
Kind of lulls you to sleep with those breaking balls. Get you thinking about those breaking balls. He'll take just kind of a big league average fastball, but watch the location. Perfectly placed down and in. See how Rutschman just a little bit late. That's because of all the breaking balls.
Adley was looking up at the scoreboard to see where that pitch was. It was down and in. It would have been ball 4. And he looks a little perplexed today in the midst of this great stretch. He's 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Swing and a miss by Pete, and it's 0-2. Nationals have one shutout this year. The game not started, but largely pitched by Alvarez. April the 19th against San Francisco. He threw 4 1/3 in that game. The Orioles have not been shut out this season. They were the last team to pick up a shutout on Wednesday. And they're 3 outs away from breaking that shutout streak offensively. 3-0 to the bottom of the 8th.
This pitching change brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Get a 15-minute oil change plus over 15 courtesy services. With no appointment, get more in a jiffy. Shane Baz is out and Josh Walker is in, making his second appearance of the year for the Orioles. Hornets hitting just 167 off the big left-hander, Walker.
Josh pitching on a couple of days rest. We'll get Abrams and Lyle, 2 lefties. C.J. Abrams scored the first run, and then Dalen Lyle drove in the next 2. (0-1) from Josh, who, as we mentioned the other day, is a 37th round pick. He said there was some interest in him being drafted as maybe a pick somewhere around the mid-teens, somewhere in the 19th round range if his price was met. He had a year of eligibility left. But he said I was already 22, 23 at that point. I didn't necessarily want to go back to college. I just thought that maybe the Mets would take me in a certain range, and they didn't, and all of a sudden it was the 37th round. And Mets reached out to him and said, we'd still like you. This is the signing bonus as he strikes out Abrams here. He took it. Again, he figured, I'm a little bit older, I'm getting a shot to be drafted, and he said, I decided, because I asked him, how does a 37th rounder make it to the big leagues? I decided basically I didn't want to go to sleep and think for one moment that I didn't do everything I could to make it to the big leagues. And his journey is so unusual, going from South Florida, pretty good D1 school, down to D2 New Haven, and then he was drafted by the Mets. He pitches in the minors in 2017 and 18. In 2019, on his way to the spring training complex, he told me he got T-boned by a driver who hit him on the driver's side, hit the driver's side door, and it really messed with a nerve in his arm. He said he was throwing some bullpens and the nerves just didn't feel right. So that season, 2019, he ended up pitching in 2 games and throwing 6 innings. And then 2020, COVID happened. So there was some nerve damage that he had to get repaired. The ground ball down to Alonso at first. He'll take control for out number 2.
I tell you what, I love where this Oriole bullpen is right now. They have been on the heater, and it's kind of going on under the radar. 11 2/3 scoreless against the Yankees. And you take it all the way back to the A series, the Orioles bullpen now has worked 25 2/3, only allowing 3 earned runs. That's pretty strong. Now, of course, I'm counting Bassett because he was a reliever. I got that mixed in there. He was the follower after the opener in Keegan Aiken, but still, a little over 25 innings and 3 earned runs in their last 2 series. That's pretty stout.
Bullpen ERA is 15. We know that's been a better unit than that. There have really been 3 atrocious innings that have blown up the ERA. The 10-run inning against Boston, where Keegan Aiken had to throw a 2nd inning. Weston Wilson pitched a couple of bad innings against the Yankees. Took those out. This would be a sub-3 ERA. And Walker has a 1.238. The O's need some runs here in the 9th. Upcoming schedule brought to you by Science Science and Kirk injured in an accident? Call Science and Kirk or visit youhavealawyer.com. Remember, you have a lawyer. 4 o'clock tomorrow with the Nats, Chris Bassett, Cade Cavalli, and then Brandon Young versus Miles Michaelis. On Sunday, tomorrow's game, we'll start with those extra pregame presented by Bet365 at 3:30 as Mel gets you ready for O's Nats Part 2. Two teams in the majors have not been shut out this year, the Twins and the Orioles. And Samuel Basallo will try to help snap that.
There we go.
Or not to snap that for Baltimore. He would like the Orioles to get on the board. They need 3 in the ninth. And Basallo starts the inning with a base hit off of Andrew Alvarez.
Well, that's the first time tonight the Orioles leadoff batter of an inning has reached. Maybe that will give us at least 3 runs. I'd take 4.
Well, the tying runs on deck now as Tyler O'Neill bats. Alvarez on his 4th inning of relief here. Strong move here by the rookie manager Blake Butera to keep in his rookie reliever Alvarez, who was just called up from AAA today.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because he has been good.
O'Neill takes a curveball to the dirt. Billis sprinting out to the mound for a 2-0 pitch. Well, in case it gets broke, Gus Varland is warming for Washington. O'Neill has flied out twice to the warning track and left, struck out once. Nats bullpen that, if they get this win, could be in incredible shape tomorrow with a win under their hats today. As you mentioned, Ben, it's the most used bullpen in baseball, so this would be a win in the win column for Blake Butera and a win in terms of reliever usage. Alvarez has thrown 3 in back of Zach Littell, but he's behind O'Neill 3-0, and one more wayward toss brings up the tying run. Tyler takes ball 4.
There you go.
So the Orioles immediately get a hit and a walk, and with nobody out, they'll bring up the tying run.
And look, when you're down 3 runs late, all you can hope for is an opportunity. You bring the tying run to the plate, and the Orioles have done that.
And that'll be the end of the night for Alvarez, who goes 3+. And Blake Butera, with the game hanging in the balance, will go to Gus Varland, and that means the Orioles will go to Leody Taveras. Craig Alvarez will pinch hit for his pinch hitter Taveras, the tying run with nobody out in the ninth. Leody Taveras will be summoned as a pinch hitter here. He represents the tying run with nobody out in the 9th inning. The Nationals turn to Gus Varland, who was an offseason waiver claim, now the Washington closer of choice.
4 for 6 for Varland in save opportunities, making his 18th appearance of the year. Opponent's batting average pretty high, though. Opponent's hitting .292 off the right-hander Varland. 3-pitch mix, 4-seam fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Changeup he hardly throws, so likely 4-seam slider to Leody, who takes the 4-seamer inside for ball 1. Varland, a waiver claim by the Diamondbacks in August, didn't make an appearance for the organization. Waiver claim by the Nats January 22nd. In this rebuilt bullpen, he's got the 9th inning. And that fastball is buried for ball 2.
Boy, part of me says right now, take till you get a strike.
What part of you doesn't?
Because Gus Varland's playing well, because you know he's going to throw a heater right down the gut most probably. And one swing could tie this thing up. Having said that, the odds are low on that.
So the defensive changes for Washington. And that was not down the middle. That's up high. He's 3-0 now. The older brother of Louis Varland, who has taken over the closer role for the Blue Jays. 2 brothers closing in the big leagues. But Varland leaving the door well open here as he gets a strike on 3-0. Just barely. 3-1 for Leody Taveras. And that big grand slam in Kansas City a month ago. 2 homers on the year, 350 on base. And Taveras takes a 4th ball in 5 pitches. So the Orioles load the bases with nobody out for Kobe Mayo in the 9th. Time for our Xfinity Power Connections. It was a powerful connection with Kobe Mayo's bat in the 7th inning. 3 batted balls at 110 plus. Kobe the hardest hit for an Oriole in a couple of years. First pitch. Mayo takes a slider in there for strike 1.
And like you said, he's not likely to get a changeup. It's fastball or slider.
A strikeout in the 2nd, hit by a pitch in the 5th. That ripped single in the 7th. Here's the 0-1. Mayo takes a heater for strike 2. Oriole bench at this point is only Weston Wilson and the 3rd catcher Maverick Handley. So it's Mayo and Jackson who will both get their shot here, the 8 and 9 spots. Here's the 0-2. Kobe chases strike 3.
Boy, a good fastball right on the outside part of the plate to get the strike 2. Then right behind it comes the slider. Starts in the same spot and just works it off the outside edge, and a huge first out for Gus Varley.
One out. Jeremiah Jackson with the bases full. First pitch swinging. High fly ball to right. And that will be out number 2. Messiah will tag, and so the Orioles are not going to get shut out tonight, but that run meaningless. So it's 3-1, but there are 2 outs in the 9th, and Gunnar Henderson is the Orioles' last chance. Gunnar had 1 brilliant at-bat today. In the 5th inning, he laced a double at 112 miles per hour off the wall. And he is not going to see Gus Varley, who faced the minimum 3 batters, and will turn the ball over to left-hander Richard Lovelady. So Lovelady, the Nationals' 3rd pitcher of the 9th inning, will try to end it. Gunnar will try to extend it.
Well, the Nats will turn to their 3rd reliever of the night, the left-hander, Richard Lovelady. This is with the Mets and the Nationals, making his 17th appearance. He's been solid, though. ERA just at 2. Opponents hitting .262 off the left-hander, Lovelady. Sweeper, 2 4-seam fastball, and a slider.
O'Neill is at 2nd. Taveras the tying run at 1st. Lovelady to Gunnar Henderson. Strike 1 to Gunnar, who saw Richard Lovelady once last year, got 3 sinkers and a slider, and took one of those sinkers up the middle for a sharp single. Here's the 0-1. That's up the middle for a single. Just like clockwork. Same pitch, same spot, same result. Henderson keeps the game alive. And the tying run, Taveras moves to 3rd as it's 3-2.
Do it, Gunnar. And boy, that ball was belted up the middle right there. Lefty on lefty, and boy, he hung in there. Watch Gunnar hang in there. Hangs in there, squares those shoulders, and takes a sinker around the outer 30, just a rocket up the middle. Tyler O'Neill scores. Taveras at 3rd. Boy, Gunnar Henderson, yes, sir.
Nats are trying to close this game out with a rookie and then 2 players who were DFA'd. Lovelady DFA'd last month. Is going to face Taylor Ward. Tying run at 3rd. Ward takes a 2-seamer away for ball 1. You just wish sometimes the Orioles would treat the 1st inning like it was the 9th, but once again they show some serious fight. Down to their final out.
There's never been any quit in this bunch.
Here's a 1-0. Outside to Ward. Ward very good against lefties. That's one of the reasons the Orioles wanted to acquire him. He has a base hit and 3 ground ball outs tonight. Taveras at third, Henderson first, and the 2-0 pitch is a sweeper in there for strike 1. The 2-1 pitch, way outside of Ward. Only one player in baseball, Yordan Alvarez, has reached base more often than Taylor Ward this year. 84 times on base for Ward. If he makes it an 85th, they'll give Adley Rutschman a shot. Will he be swinging away 3-1? He will not, and it's a challenge by Drew Millis on ball 4.
The previous pitch was called the ball. The catcher's challenge.
Ward is in full discard mode. He's on his way to first, and he can go there. ABS powered by T-Mobile confirms the ball 4.
Has 1 challenge remaining.
The 3rd walk of the inning for the Orioles. Their 5th base runner of the 9th inning. And Adley Rutschman, who nearly started this first inning with a home run. The 3rd batter of the game was robbed of a double by Jacob Young. Could be the final batter or could give the Orioles their first lead. Here's the pitch. Down and out to Rutsch, and it's 1-0. Boy, there is a sizable contingent of Oriole Orange here that stuck around, and they cheered loudly at that confirmed ball 4 to Ward. And this is where Nats Park can start to feel like Camden Yards South. 8 innings of waiting for a rally. The 1-0 in there for a strike.
Lovelady loves those breaking balls. Boy, be ready for the wild pitch too. Be ready to bounce.
On the outside at strike 2, and the Orioles down to their final strike. Already 2 strikeouts for Adley Rutschman tonight. He doesn't have a lot of those games. He sure doesn't have a lot of 3K games. Taveras, Henderson, and Ward the base runners. The 1-2 pitch. He couldn't hold up. 3 strikeouts for Rutschman tonight. The Orioles score 2, strand 3, and fall by 1 in the 9th.
Well, the Orioles make a lot of noise again in the 9th inning and fall just 1 run short.
Just a tough night at the plate for Adley Rutschman, who had driven in 3 of the Orioles' last game. 0 for 5 with 3 Ks tonight. And the Nationals survive 3-2, stranding the go-ahead and potentially game-winning runs on base.
Boy, you talk about tough too, because see, the pitch before that was a backdoor breaking ball. Rutschman thought that ball was going to come back, tries to check his swing. Watch him think it's going to be outside, and it was, but just couldn't quite hold it up.
So a great rally by the Orioles, but it comes too late. Lovelady eventually earns the save. The Nationals take the opener of this Beltway Series 3-2 after the O's had taken a series from the Yankees. A chance at a little momentum curbed, and a win streak will have to begin anew tomorrow. Mel has your O's Extra postgame when we return.